You think you're unlucky in love? Number the field isn't cruel. It's precise. It gives you exactly what your vibration rehearses. Every misunderstanding, every argument that ended with silence, every cold stare across the room wasn't random. It was written long before the words were spoken. The universe does not deal in accidents. It deals in echoes. And your relationships are nothing more than the loudest echo of the signal you carry inside. Think about it. That moment you feared they would leave. Suddenly, their attention began to fade. That moment you doubted your worth. Suddenly, they treated you like you were. That moment you replayed the wound of betrayal from the past. Suddenly, a new betrayal unfolded in front of you. Is this punishment? Number its precision. The quantum field is like a flawless mirror. It has no bias. It has no agenda. It simply reflects, and it reflects what you are rehearsing in the privacy of your emotions. Because words are weak signals. You can say, "I am loved," 1,000 times. But if your body trembles with fear every time your phone is silent, the field doesn't pick up the affirmation, it picks up the vibration, and vibration is the true language of creation. It's not what you want that manifests. It's what you are. So when you wonder why love feels like a battlefield, look deeper. It's not luck. It's not chance. It's the frequency you've been unconsciously loyal to. The field is not cruel. It doesn't play favorites. It is exact, mathematical, and unwavering. If you give it heartbreak energy, it will script heartbreak scenes. If you give it abandonment energy, it will cast abandonment roles. If you give it loneliness energy, it will build a stage of silence. But here's the shocking truth most people never hear. If you shift this, the actors change. The scenes rewrite themselves. And suddenly, the person who once triggered your wounds disappears from the script. This is the law of resonance. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you rehearse, and every conflict in your relationships is proof that your rehearsal has been unconscious. But now, awareness flips the script. Every fight begins before the first word is spoken. Every breakup begins before the first tear is shed. Every toxic cycle starts in the silence of your inner world, long before it ever shows up in the physical one. Because energy speaks first, it speaks louder than tone. It speaks louder than body language. It speaks louder than promises. When you enter a room carrying the frequency of fear, you don't have to say anything. The air already bends around it. Your partner feels it in their body. They don't know why they're suddenly restless, defensive, or distant, but they are, because your fear has already written the script. And here's the truth. Most relationships don't collapse from words. They collapse from vibrations that went unspoken for too long. The unhealed wound humming quietly beneath every conversation. The insecurity tucked between every laugh. The silent fear of loss that turns affection into control. Think about the last argument you had. Was it really about the dishes in the sink? Was it really about the late reply to your message? Or was it about the signal beneath it? The one that whispered, "I don't feel seen. I don't feel safe. I don't feel enough." This is where quantum manifestation becomes more than philosophy. It becomes the blueprint for healing. Because when you understand that the conflict is energetic first, you stop wasting time fighting symptoms and start addressing the source. The source is never them. It's never what they said. It's never the surface trigger. The source is always the vibration you've been rehearsing. Fear rehearsed enough becomes jealousy. Jealousy rehearsed enough becomes accusation. Accusation rehearsed enough becomes distance. And distance rehearsed enough becomes heartbreak. It's not fate. It's not bad luck. It's a pattern, and patterns can be rewritten. The moment you change the rehearsal, the moment you decide to feel whole before the other person validates you, to feel secure before the text arrives, to feel enough before anyone says it, the field reorganizes. Conflict loses its stage, and what once felt like an endless loop suddenly dissolves. Because the truth is simple, you don't manifest the relationship you dream of. You manifest the relationship your energy rehearses daily. Loneliness feels heavy. It's like walking through a crowded world and still feeling unseen. Breakups feel final. Like someone ripped pages out of your story and left you holding the torn cover. Toxic connections feel draining. Like your light is leaking drop by drop into someone else's shadow. But what if I told you, these are not punishments, they are signals. Precise signals from the field whispering. Something in your frequency is out of alignment, because loneliness is not the absence of people. It's the absence of resonance. You can be surrounded by friends, family, lovers, and still feel invisible if your vibration is tuned to unworthiness. The field reflects that back as emptiness, not to hurt you, but to remind you it's time to rewrite the code. Breakups. They sting like nothing else. They carve holes in your chest and make you question your worth. But in truth, most breakups are not endings. They are recalibrations. When two frequencies no longer match, the field can't sustain the bond. So it collapses it, not to punish you, but to clear space for a higher match. And toxic connections? They are perhaps the loudest signals of all. The field is not cruel, but it will keep mirroring your wounds until you decide to heal them. If you carry abandonment inside, it will keep sending people who abandon. If you carry betrayal inside, it will keep sending people who betray. Not because you deserve pain, but because you deserve awareness. Think about it. The field is exact. If it kept sending you love while you were vibrating fear, you'd never learn that you're so. Instead, it teaches you with sharp mirrors. Loneliness says, tune higher. Breakups say, you've outgrown this frequency. Toxic ties say, heal this wound so you never rehearse it again. This is not chaos. This is coherence. And once you see it, you stop asking, why me? And start asking, what signal am I broadcasting? Because every ache, every silence, every tear isn't the universe abandoning you. It's the universe guiding you back to resonance, where love is not chased, not lost, not fought for, but simply reflected. Here's the hidden pattern most people never see. Conflict is rarely about the present moment. It's about the rehearsal. Every emotion you've repeated, every story you've replayed in your mind, every memory you've carried like a scar becomes a rehearsal. And the body does not forget rehearsals. When you rehearse abandonment, you walk into new relationships expecting to be left. When you rehearse betrayal, you scan every conversation for lies. When you rehearse loneliness, you push people away even as you crave closeness. This is why the same argument seems to follow you from one partner to the next. It's not them. It's the vibration rehearsed so many times that the quantum field has no choice but to reflect it. Think of your energy like a stage play. You've rehearsed the role so long that when a new person enters, they unknowingly step into the script you already wrote. And the tragedy? They start playing the exact part your vibration prepared for them. This is why people say, all my relationships end the same way. It's not coincidence, it's coherence. The field is not giving you new stories, it's looping the old rehearsal. But here's the power hidden inside the pain. Rehearsals can be rewritten, the same way an actor changes the script before opening night. You can change the vibration before the field reflects it again. It begins with awareness, noticing the feeling before it spirals, asking, what am I broadcasting right now? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it unworthiness? Or is it love, stability, and wholeness? The shift doesn't happen with force. It doesn't happen by pretending you're happy when you're not. It happens by choosing a new rehearsal, again and again. By breathing into the fear and teaching your body safety. By holding the loneliness and teaching your heart fullness. By facing the wound and deciding it's not your identity anymore. Because when the rehearsal changes, the story changes. And when the story changes, the field has no option but to cast new characters, new endings, new love that feels like alignment, not struggle. So remember, you are not cursed. You are not doomed to repeat heartbreak. You are rehearsing the old signal. That's all. And the moment you choose a new vibration, you break the loop. The secret most people miss is this. Love doesn't collapse because of the other person. It collapses because of incoherence. When your heart longs for closeness, but your mind rehearses fear, and your body tightens in defense, the signals are scattered. The field can't stabilize what isn't aligned. This is why one moment feels magical, and the next feels like everything is falling apart. It's not random. It's the clash between the vibration you want to send and the vibration you're actually sending. Coherence changes that. Coherence is when your heart, your mind, and your energy finally agree, when your desire for love is no longer sabotaged by the fear of loss, when your vision of harmony is no longer drowned by the echo of betrayal, when your nervous system, your thoughts, and your emotions broadcast the same steady signal. And here's the beauty. The field responds instantly to coherence, because coherence is clarity, and clarity collapses confusion. Think about the couples you've seen who radiate peace. They don't spend their days in endless conflict. They don't cling to each other out of fear. They move like two notes in the same song, distinct but harmonious. That's not luck. That's alignment. Coherence is not found in begging, chasing, or clinging. It's found in becoming the person who feels whole without waiting for someone else to complete them. Becoming the one who broadcasts safety, so safety is returned. Becoming the one who embodies love, so love is no longer a question, but a reflection. When you are coherent, you don't force people to stay. You don't manipulate them to love you. You don't exhaust yourself proving your worth. Because coherence is its own proof. It stabilizes relationships naturally, or it dissolves the ones that don't belong, without chaos, without war, without the need to break yourself to hold onto someone else. This is the shift that ends the cycle of conflict, not fixing them, not begging them, Not replaying the wound, but aligning yourself so deeply that the field has no choice but to bring you connections that match. Because the truth is this: you don't manifest the love you want. You manifest the love your coherence sustains. We are taught to see breakups as endings, as if the story has been torn apart, as if love has abandoned us, and we are left standing in the ruins of something that once felt eternal. But in the quantum field, there are no endings, only recalibrations. When two people no longer share resonance, the field will not sustain the bond. It can't, because it is precise, and coherence is its law. So what feels like collapse is actually realignment. What feels like abandonment is often protection. What feels like loss is preparation for something that matches the new. Think about the relationships you thought you couldn't survive losing. At the time, the pain was unbearable. You cried, you broke, you felt empty. But look closer. That heartbreak forced you to confront patterns you had ignored. It pulled you into self-reflection. It made you stronger, wiser, sharper. It stretched your capacity for growth. And when the storm passed, you were not the same person. The breakup was not the punishment. It was the portal. Because here's the truth: the field never takes something from you without offering you the chance to become someone greater. The relationship ended, not because you were unworthy, but because you are being invited to rise. And once you rise, once you shift your frequency, once you embody the lesson, you stop attracting the same story again. You step into a new timeline where love doesn't drain you, where connection doesn't feel like survival, where intimacy doesn't carry the shadow of fear. This is why some people repeat the same heartbreak for years, while others use one breakup as the moment their entire life transforms. The difference: one person rehearses the pain, while the other rehearses the new signal. So ask yourself, will this ending define you or refine you? Because in the field, every collapse is a chance to step into greater coherence. Every goodbye is an invitation to return to yourself, and every ending is secretly the beginning of the version of you who no longer begs, no longer breaks, no longer fears, but simply resonates with love. Toxic connections are some of the hardest to release. Not they pull you in, they drain you, they confuse you, and still a part of you clings. Why? Because the field always mirrors what is unhealed. And until the wound is acknowledged, the mirror doesn't go away. If you carry abandonment inside, you will meet people who leave again and again. If you carry betrayal inside, you will meet liars and deceivers. No matter how much you promise yourself, never again. If you carry unworthiness, you will find yourself in relationships where love feels like crumbs, where you work endlessly to prove what should have been given freely. It feels like punishment. But it's not. The field is showing you the wound so you can finally heal it. And here's the paradox. The more toxic the connection feels, the louder the signal is. The universe is not trying to torture you. It's trying to wake you. Because once you recognize the mirror, you are no longer trapped in it. You stop asking, "Why are they like this?" and start asking, "Why do I keep rehearsing this vibration?" That question shifts everything. Because the moment you stop rehearsing fear, the partner who thrives on your fear loses their grip. The moment you stop rehearsing unworthiness, The partner who manipulates your worth disappears from the script. The moment you stop rehearsing abandonment, the cycle of being left behind collapses. This is why toxic ties often feel impossible to cut, because your wound is still feeding them. But when you heal, the energy that bound you together has nothing left to hold onto. The field releases them naturally. No chaos, no war, no begging, just silence and freedom. So hear this clearly: you are not cursed. You are not destined to live inside toxic loops. You are rehearsing a wound, and the field is mirroring it. But the mirror was never meant to punish you. It was meant to free you. When the wound heals, the mirror breaks, and love, true love, the kind that nourishes, expands, and elevates, finally steps through. Most people think misunderstandings happen because of words. The wrong phrase, the wrong tone, the wrong timing. But the truth runs deeper. Misunderstandings are not born from language. They are born from vibration. Think about it. You can say the exact same sentence in two different states of being, and it lands completely differently. Say, "I love you," from fear, and it comes out needy, heavy, almost suffocating. Say, "I love you," from wholeness, and it becomes a gift, light, and liberating. The words are identical, but the frequency behind them is not. This is why conversations spiral into arguments over nothing, because beneath the words, two energies are clashing. One person broadcasting insecurity, the other broadcasting defensiveness, and the field amplifies the dissonance until it explodes. It's not about what was said. It's about what was felt. Every misunderstanding is really an energetic misalignment. Two signals trying to connect while tuned to different frequencies. It's like trying to play a duet when one instrument is in tune and the other is not. The notes clash, not because the musicians are bad, but because the resonance is off. And here's the secret. When you realign the frequency, the words no longer matter as much, because energy carries truth before sound does. A coherent vibration can soften even the harshest sentence. An incoherent vibration can twist even the kindest words. So the question becomes, do you want to win the argument? Or do you want to tune the frequency? Because the field doesn't respond to who won. It responds to the resonance both people are carrying. And when one person shifts into coherence, the entire conversation transforms. What was once tension becomes ease. What was once accusation becomes curiosity. What was once misunderstanding becomes connection. This is how conflicts dissolve, without shouting, without endless explanations, without proving who was right. It's not communication skills that save love, it's vibrational alignment. And once you learn to tune yourself before you speak, you realize that clarity was never about the sentence. It was always about the signal. If the field is precise, if relationships are mirrors, then why do so many people stay stuck in the same painful loops? Why do they keep attracting the same arguments, the same betrayals, the same heartbreak, over and over again? The answer is simple, but heavy, because pain is familiar, and the body clings to the familiar. When you've rehearsed abandonment for years, your nervous system begins to mistake it for safety. When you've carried unworthiness since childhood, being ignored feels normal, almost expected. When betrayal has carved itself into your story, your body scans for it. prepares for it, even magnetizes it, just to confirm what it already believes. This is why people say, "Why does this always happen to me?" It happens because the rehearsal is stronger than the desire. The body is loyal to what it knows, even if it destroys you. So the loop continues. The field keeps reflecting the same frequency, not to trap you, but to wake you, to show you again and again the vibration you have yet to shift. And here's the truth that breaks the cycle. You can't rise above the loop by fighting it. You rise above it by choosing something unfamiliar, by choosing safety when your body expects chaos, by choosing worthiness when your mind whispers you are not enough, by choosing trust when betrayal feels inevitable. At first, it feels unnatural. It feels wrong, even fake, because your nervous system screams, "This isn't safe. Go back to what we know." But the field doesn't mirror comfort zones. It mirrors coherence. And if you want a new story, you must become loyal to a new signal. It's not easy, but it's possible. And once you shift the rehearsal, the loop collapses. The arguments lose their power. The betrayals no longer appear. The heartbreaks stop repeating. You realize it was never about luck. It was never about destiny. It was never about being cursed in love. It was about frequency. And the moment you chose differently, everything changed. Because in the end, the field isn't cruel, it's precise. And once you rehearse love instead of fear, the mirror finally reflects it back. Shifting your vibration is not a one-time choice. It's not a quick affirmation. Not a single meditation. Not a single moment of clarity. It's a daily practice. Because the body remembers the old rehearsal, and unless you teach it something new, it will return to what it knows. So, how do you reprogram your frequency? Not by forcing love, but by embodying it every day in small ways. It begins in the morning. Before you pick up your phone, before you check the world, pause, close your eyes, and ask yourself, what signal do I want to broadcast today? Not what you want from others, not what you want to receive, but what you want to become. If you want love, breathe as if you are already loved. If you want safety, stand, breathe deeply, and let your body feel grounded. If you want connection, speak to yourself with kindness before you speak to anyone else. These are not small acts. They are vibrational codes. They teach the field who you are, and the field reorganizes accordingly. Throughout the day, notice the rehearsals. Notice when your body contracts in fear. Notice when your chest tightens with doubt. Notice when loneliness creeps in like a shadow. Don't fight it. Don't judge it. Simply pause and choose again, because every time you choose love over fear, safety over panic, worthiness over doubt, you rewrite the rehearsal, and every new rehearsal strengthens the new signal. At night, before you sleep, don't replay the wounds of the day. Instead, replay the new frequency. Imagine yourself as the version who is already whole, already loved, already aligned. Drift into sleep, carrying the vibration you want the field to mirror back. This is how you train your body to follow your intention. This is how you stop being a prisoner of your past rehearsals. This is how you make love, stability, and harmony not just a dream, but a daily broadcast. Because the field doesn't respond to effort. It responds to consistency, and the one who chooses the new signal again and again, no matter how many times the old loop tries to return, becomes unshakable. That is the power of reprogramming. Not overnight miracles, but daily alignment. And in that alignment, love ceases to be a struggle and becomes the natural reflection of who you are. There is one vibration that resets the field more powerfully than almost anything else. Forgiveness. Not the shallow kind where you say, "I'm fine, I'm over it," while your body still trembles with old wounds, but the kind where you release the rehearsal, where you stop reliving the betrayal, where you stop carrying the abandonment, where you stop dragging yesterday's pain into today's signal. Because forgiveness is not about them, it's about you. It's about freeing your frequency from the prison of old rehearsals. It's about telling the field, "I am ready to broadcast something new." When you forgive yourself for the times you settled, when you forgive others for the roles they played in your awakening, you collapse the old timeline. You make space for resonance, and the field, in its precision, reorganizes. You are no longer the abandoned one. You are no longer the betrayed one. You are no longer the lonely one. You are the coherent one, the one who loves without fear, the one who attracts without force, the one who knows the field isn't cruel, it's precise. And now that your vibration rehearses love, love is all that can return. So let this be your moment. The moment you stop rehearsing wounds, the moment you stop waiting for someone else to complete you. From this day forward, choose your frequency. Rehearse love. Rehearse worthiness. Rehearse safety. Rehearse coherence. Because when you do, conflict dissolves, loneliness fades, toxic cycles collapse, and love, real love, finally arrives, not as a chase, but as a mirror. Faye, and if this message reached you, it's not by accident. The field brought you here for a reason. So don't just listen. Start today. Start with your breath, your intention, your vibration, because the life and love you've been praying for is waiting at the frequency you choose right now. If this resonated with you, don't let it end here. Like this video, leave a comment with the word alignment to declare your shift, and subscribe for more truths, because your transformation is not in the future. It begins the moment you press play on your new frequency.